Hey, Money Vikings, welcome back. Thanks for joining me today. I have an interesting one. Fidelity just came out with their average 401k balances by age, and the information is quite interesting, illuminating, and frankly, on a macro level, it's pretty scary because, in general, as typical, Americans are just not saving and investing enough to support themselves over a long retirement and potentially a longer life. So let's go through some of the numbers. It's pretty interesting. So I went into Investopedia to get a readout of this Fidelity study, but it is very interesting. So it says average 401k balance by age, and we're going to start here with 20. So 20 to 29, average 401k balance is $10,500. And typically these people are contributing about 7%. This number makes a lot of sense to me because this is an age where you're really starting out. Typically, I had school loans at the time. You know, you're not really at your peak earning years. You're just starting out. You're trying to get your foot in the door to a job or an internship or something. You're trying to get onto some kind of good path to a career, really, a something that you can at least tolerate. Hopefully you enjoy something you're somewhat good at, and something that pays relatively well and has benefits and even has a 401k. So as you can see, 10,500. So that makes a lot of sense right there. What is kind of rough though is that this generation, it says basically the participant rate was about 15%. So at Money Vikings, we definitely would like to see that a lot higher, because these are some years where you can really build a foundation. And really, if you can get a pretty good foundation, even 10,500 or more, at that point, you are going to really enjoy compounding and reinvestments over the decades. So it's a really key time, if possible, to get as much in there. Okay, let's go into 30 something. So it jumps up pretty well here. It goes to 38,400 at that point, which is better. This is 30 to 39. People are typically contributing 8%. So these are millennials. Women investors opened 31% more IRA accounts. That's interesting. Millennials opened 58% more accounts in 2021 than they had in 2020. So that's good. That means going in the right direction. So 38,000, not bad, but this would be a really good time to really start taking this seriously. 30s to 39, typically salaries are getting better. You know, you've had a few years in the workforce, and you know, salaries are just really improving. So you're able to maybe sock a little more away. Okay, 40 to 49, I call this crunch time in a lot of ways for really building that base. So the average balance then is 93,000. And there's also rules of thumb that'll be down here where it talks about the ideal. So these actually are not ideal, these averages. The ideal at, like, for example, at I think from 40 to 49 is to have 3 times your annual salary saved. So, you know, if you're making, I don't know, if you're making 80,000, typically a person from 40 to 49 should have about 240,000 saved in their 401k. So it's, 93,000 is better than nothing, but it's kind of not hitting the mark. So 50 to 59, jumps up to 160,000. So at this age, in these ages, people are, I guess, really starting to take it a little more seriously and wanting to contribute to their 401k. I think in these ages, you actually can kind of see, first of all, life tends to feel accelerated for people sometimes, especially in these prime years in the middle where you're raising kids and you're really busy with things. Things are pretty accelerated. So at this age, they're kind of like, you're kind of like, wow, you're like, I will turn, I will be in my 60s someday. So that's kind of interesting. 60 to 69, 182,000. So this is the typical retirement years right there. And then as you can see, it dips back down to 171,000 from 70 to 79. And that's a year when people start, usually those years people are drawing off those accounts to live off of. So then it goes into how much we should have. This is the ideal. So by age 30, we want to have one time our annual salary. Okay. Yeah, okay. If you're making 50,000, you want 50,000. That might be hard though at that age by 30. The 20s are, typically people are again paying off school loans, trying to get their foot in the door, get a good job with a good career ladder. By age 40, we want to have three times the annual salary. Yeah, that's good, but you got to really be, a person's got to be doing like 10% plus, I would think, and getting a pretty healthy match to hit that and not be drawing off that. And then by age 60, you want to have eight times and so on. So anyway, so that's kind of interesting. I just wanted to share that. I thought that was a pretty cool study. I pulled out this part. This is kind of interesting. A 2019 Government County GAO study found that 48% of Americans age 55 and older didn't have any retirement nest egg. So that's pretty rough right there. 55 and older, and half the population has nothing saved. That's what we're all about here. That's what we're trying to avoid. And then from 56 to 61, the average 163,000. That's just not quite enough to carry you through. So anyway, let me know what you think about these comments and these statistics. It's kind of interesting stuff. And catch y'all later. Thank you.